What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the After Buzz podcast. My name is Nico Adjimian, your host of the After Buzz, and of course with me is the man of the hour, Buzz Adams.
Hello.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great.
I have some very interesting topics to talk about today, but before we get into them, yeah, right. Do you have anything you want to announce, bring up?
A lot of people have expressed concern for one of my dogs who had a seizure.
I had a stroke.
It was a stroke, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said seizure.
Okay. It was a stroke. Well, anyway, you saw him on Friday.
I did. I helped you take him home.
Yeah, right. He couldn't walk, and he has made remarkable progress. He kind of walks around the yard. He's still getting his feet under him. Also, his head's tilted to one side. He reminds me of the hyenas from Lion King.
Yeah.
His tongue's out.
Yeah. He definitely looks like that.
But he is improving, and I think he's going to get back, maybe not to 100%, but I think he's going to be back to almost 100%. And I'm glad that was the result, because I paid $6,500 so far.
But you can't put a price on love. He looks so happy. Is Spark like playing with him? Are they sniffing each other? Spark almost looked scared of him when we brought him back.
Spark is the other dog. So they're both from the same litter. They're brothers. And Spark seemed confused about, what's different. It's hard to, put human thoughts and emotions into what's going on.
What is
in
this dog thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. But, to anthropomorphize it seems like he's confused by the whole thing maybe a little bit. But, but getting better, and I think they're gonna be back to running around playing in the yard again.
Nice.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for the well wishes.
Well, on today's AfterBuzz, we are going to be talking Burger Wars. Whataburger versus In-N-Out.
I've never had an In-N-Out burger.
You never have?
Nope. I'm not going to be very helpful with this topic.
Okay. What about Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's? Where would you rank them? People love their Whataburger here. I just want you to know.
Burger King has the best breakfast sandwiches, but to me, their burgers are just way too salty. Like that meat patty is just so heavily salted. McDonald's, between those three, I would say McDonald's.
Better than Whataburger.
No. You said Wendy's, Burger King, and
versus what? I mean,
and McDonald's.
Yeah, including Whataburger. Out of all of them.
Oh, Whataburger's better.
Okay. Now I'm trying to think of a chain like
It's not my favorite burger that I've ever had. It's okay.
Like when you go to Oklahoma, what's the fast food? What's the burger that you go? Is there like a fast food?
Brahms has really good burgers.
Brahms burgers. Mm-hmm. Just the alliteration seems to work there.
Well, it's really started as an ice cream shop. But they have and they got that crinkle style fries. They're so good.
I do like the crinkle style fries.
Yeah.
I like In-N-Out because they do the grilled onions there amazingly. Like they will grill the shit out of those onions. And so some people don't like their special sauce. It's Thousand Island dressing, essentially. Whataburger has not been the same quality to me as of late.
I've noticed it's a little more bland.
Yeah,
there's something about the meat. Like is it possible that they're got a different source for their meat?
Yes, that's what my question is too. Because they also they used to be family owned, and then they sold the company to a Chicago-based company. Yeah. I wonder if that has had anything to do with the quality of the meats, if you will. All right. Well, I also wanted to bring up something else today, and that is parenting. Modern parenting in 2024 may look very different than even when you parented in 2004. Wait, isn't that when she was? No, 2008.
2006 was when she was born.
Oh, 2006, yeah. So parenting may be very different from even then. Naturally, critics of previous generations and other parents have weighed in on the topic. So let's talk to teachers, though. Teachers seem to have the most insight into kids, aside from parents, because they spend a lot of their time with them. Some teachers are saying we blamed this first on the pandemic, but now my colleagues and I are beginning to think it's a cultural shift in parenting. All right, number one. First, we had helicopter parents, but now there are lawnmower parents.
What's that mean?
Their goal is to remove any and all obstacles in the way of their child's happiness and success. They mow the lawn for them. They try to mow down anyone who poses a threat to their children not being first. We had to keep all the ballots for class officers, homecoming court, etc. in case parents wanted to recount them themselves. Like teachers care who kids elect.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? That you have to keep the ballots for your homecoming king and queen so that parents who want recounts.
I want to recount. I want to count the votes.
Yeah,
maybe this is like fallout from the 2020 election. It's like now everybody doesn't trust elections anymore.
2016 or 2020?
2020, yeah.
Did you say 2020?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my hearing's going down. One former student almost got kicked out of college because his parents kept calling the school and professors at home to argue about grades and dorm assignments.
Oh God.
I could see, you know what I can see is people my age having kids or even a little bit older than me, and they are still maybe living in a mindset of what it used to be like and maybe what they wanted their high school experience or college experience to be like. And I'm going to argue for those grades because that means I didn't get good grades. Do you think that's something like there's some type of vicarious living?
I don't know. It's very different than my experience. And I guess compared to that, I'm definitely not a helicopter parent.
You're not no, you are definitely not. I'm sure you would go. No, I'm not even sure you would go do anything if there was an obstacle in front of your daughter, if you would go mow it down just for her, if you'd be like, oh, figure it out yourself.
Like if she was getting a bad grade?
Yeah.
I'd tell her to get better grades.
You wouldn't go and try and get the teacher to change it.
No, she's got a very good GPA.
Does she really?
Oh, yeah.
Is she good at math?
No, not as good at math as she is other. She takes more advanced classes than I ever took.
Seems like math might be a genetic problem.
Yeah, it could be.
Number two.
I mean, she's like, I can't do math. I can't do math at all. And she's in calculus, so.
Okay, yeah, she's fine. I teach kindergarten in a Western state, and we have seen huge changes. We blamed them first on the pandemic, and now my colleagues and I are beginning to think it's a cultural shift in parenting. We spend huge percentages of our time managing these problems instead of supporting academics, but there is no change without parental support. The three largest are the ability to cope with negative emotions, particularly disappointment or rejection. Lack of resilience when faced with difficulty. This is evident in the number of I don't know responses I get without any effort to answer a question and the number of meltdowns I've seen for not getting something right the first time.
From the kids or the parents?
From the kids. I don't know. Go try and find out. No, I don't know.
I think it was a big mistake to ever allow smartphones on school campuses. Just the idea of having that much distraction and diversion with you at all times, I just think it's been a real detriment to getting education and forming social bonds and interacting with people in real life. I think this phone should go away until school's over.
I completely agree. I think.
Do you really?
Yeah, no, I do. I think you're going to see.
It's almost like the authorities have given in. It's like, all right, everybody can have their phone.
I don't think there's a consensus around it yet. I think what's going to happen is in 100 years, scientists or sociologists or biologists are going to say, this was the period of time in world history when brains first began to change because of electronics. They're going to date it to this time period, and they're going to say, look at the changes on our neurochemistry. This is the reason. This is when it started.
Okay, I don't know if it's going to have
it's
biological.
It's already had that. That's already been proven in studies in the past 24 years.
Rewires the brain.
It was rewiring the brain of kids because.
Then why am I required to do all this internet stuff when I have a pre-rewired brain?
Because we live in a post-wired brain society. Okay. Your pre-wired brain won't matter in a post-wired environment. Like kids have been shown that their dopamine, every time they scroll, they get hits of dopamine.
Oh, that felt good. I don't know why.
Now
and it doesn't last very long,
and
it's not fulfilling.
And
really.
That threshold is now being pushed higher and higher for how much dopamine you need to get.
I just look. I think that school is one of the few places where a kid actually interacts with other kids their own age and adults. Other than that. It's just a very, very different world.
3, I've been teaching in elementary schools for 20 years, and parents today shield their children from any kind of disappointment. Managing disappointment and other difficult emotions is an important life skill, but some parents can't handle seeing their child sad. So they sabotage their child's healthy development by making sure they never experience disappointment or unhappiness. This backfires when the inevitable happens and something doesn't go their way. I have seen this 1,000% in people my age and a little bit younger who, much younger actually,
just can't handle being, not getting what they wanted, or if it's a promotion or whatever.
Yes,
it's meltdown.
It
time.
is worthy of life endingness. Like they just couldn't. They can't see how to get past.
You and Jenkins were both up for the big promotion.
Jenkins got it.
You didn't, and
I'm gonna die. 4, parents getting defensive every time you mention their kid needs some help. I'm not your enemy. We're on the same team. I'm trying to help your kid be a successful person.
This is a teacher talking.
Yeah, these are all teachers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure this is anything new. I think all parents are defensive of it anytime anybody says anything about their kids. This other teacher says, number 5, 2 words, learned helplessness. If your child needs a pencil to complete their homework, but is sitting there doing nothing, tell them to get a pencil. The number of times I pull a kid aside to ask why they're not attempting their work, and I get a variation of, oh, I don't have a pencil, or I don't know what to do, is alarming. Right? I used to love puzzles. I used to love trying to figure things out for myself. I never wanted to sit there and wait for somebody else to tell me how to do it.
I knew how to go get a pencil if I knew where a pencil was.
6, now we're going to university students. I've been a university teacher for close to 20 years, and the current students have not been taught by their parents to take any responsibility. The poor decisions, and then they make poor decisions and then expect everyone else to get them on track, i.e. missing a class for a trip or a night out and doing nothing to turn in your work that is due. And then you take it out personally when there are consequences, instead of understanding that it's objective that if they don't do work, they get a 0.
This is sounding very familiar with kind of like your attitude toward this job.
What are you talking about? I do my fucking job.
You missed 2 days this week.
Okay. So fire me. Fucking fire me.
Right. There you go.
Do something about it then.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Show up on the days you're supposed to be here. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It sounds...
I don't get paid enough to care that much.
It sounds like you've been describing yourself this entire time.
If people knew the amount of free work I've done for you and this station for over 8 years, I don't think anybody would quibble over my work ethic.
All right.
Yeah. You've even told me before, I have told you about the free work that I used to do by coming in, and you said, yeah, that sounds illegal. We probably couldn't have gotten away with that.
So the way things have been done around here for a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
really? So you've had somebody intern for 6 years?
not that
okay.
long.
Well, there you go.
Right.
So fuck off. All right. This is a sore point for me.
Okay.
8. I'm a middle school teacher, 20 years in. When my mom would get a call from the school, she'd answer it with, "What did my child do?" Now when you call a parent, it's, "What did you do to my child?" It sounds like all of these are parents no longer respecting the teacher as an authority about their kids and the parents being the authority about how the teacher should treat them.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are plenty of people who are my age and younger who had the old, if you get in trouble at school, you're going to get in trouble at home. It's like, wait a minute, you're not going to go stick up for it? No. If the teacher says you did something wrong, I'm going with what the teacher says.
My parents would never have thought I was the one, that the teacher was the one super out of line. It was like always going to be me. I don't know. I'm curious about what other listeners, any listeners out there, if you are a current teacher, a former teacher, if you're a parent and you've dealt with any of these issues, let us know what your thoughts are on.
Well, I can tell you. Go ahead.
On kids and kind of why you see them in this helpless state.
There's one thing that has never changed, and that is that the older generation always bemoans the state of the younger generation.
Yeah, I think that's pretty universal.
You could go back to the ancient Greeks, and you could probably find a bunch of old Greek philosophers sitting around bitching about kids and how they don't, they're not as good as they were in my day. That has gone unabated.
What do you think about like somebody who's a teacher for 40 years and they've seen multiple generations of kids?
Well, if you got to remember the teacher's getting older too. Their psychology has changed in 40 years as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, the more in the past something is, the rosier your glasses are. You tend to always remember 40 years ago. You remember the highlights, and you tend to forget the bad things.
Yeah, I'm sure when the Model T came out, teachers were, oh, these kids in their cars, they think they're all...
When writing came out, there was, and I can't tell you the philosopher, but one of the Greek philosophers who said this is going to be the worst because nobody's ever going to have to actually learn, that is memorize.
Nobody's going to have to memorize.
Because it's just going to be in a book.
You and your fancy scribbles.
Yeah, right. Any information, you don't have to know it. You can just go read it in this new fancy thing called a stone tablet or whatever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
Yeah, seriously. Well, let us know, like I said, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, what is going on with the kids these days?
They need to put a block on any phone reception other than to call at one emergency number, just like an umbrella that keeps kids from being on their phone.
Yeah.
I think it's a major distraction to the point where high school kids walk across the street without even, they look at the light and make sure it's green, and then their face is down in their phone for the entire. What if some crazy person is driving and isn't paying attention, doesn't see the light? God, there's no situational awareness.
Yeah.
Seriously, with these phones. And I can only imagine trying to enforce some kind of, hey, pay attention to me, your teacher, if the kids are allowed to have their phones out in class. I just can't imagine learning in an environment like that.
All right, that's going to do it for today's episode of the After Buzz podcast. Check us out every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And don't forget to listen to the Buzz Adams Morning Show Monday through Fridays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 95.5 KLAQ. We'll talk to you guys next time.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the "did we just hit a million orders" stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.